Fallout New Vegas is a game that has endless role playing opportunities. In this challenge run, we will be role playing as an Omerta and seeing if you can beat Fallout New Vegas as an Omerta. Now, for a little background on who the Emeritas are one out of three families on the New Vegas Strip and are based entirely on the mobsters of old, which originally founded Las Vegas itself. Now, in this challenge run, we will be playing as an Omerita as closely as we can. We will be trying to dress like them. We will be using similar weapons to them, and we will be doing things that align with their goals and objectives in the Mojave. Also, I should mention right off the bat that I have a whole bunch of mods that will either make things slightly easier or make things a whole lot more difficult. That's for us to find out, I guess. So, without further ado, let's get started. I wake up in Doc Mitchell's house and praise God that this is not a dust
All right.
playthrough. Oh God! No, get in the truck! Get in the truck! Get back! Get back! Piece of shit! Ugh. Leave me alone! He then proceeds to ask me my name, to which I answer Bugsy. I make the Fallout version of The Godfather, and then I head over to the Vigor Tester. So, for our special stats, I chose this entirely based off of what I think Omerta would have, redeeming qualities wise. 7 strength and endurance is for roughing up anyone who gets in our way. Charisma is for charming our way into whatever rackets we can get our hands on. Agility is because we are either fast or we're dead in this world. And intelligence is because we're likely not going to be the sharpest tool in the shed, because it is not our job to think, it is our job to make money and results for the family. Following this theme of being a mob enforcer, I choose guns, melee weapons, and barter as my tag skills, and I choose fast shot and hot blooded as my traits. Upon leaving Doc Mitchell's house, I skip the fan club, steal a pistol, and start making my way to New Vegas through the spicy route. I also take this time to set the difficulty to very hard because I'll be damned if I'm going to make this playthrough easy on my sanity.
Oh fuck. Oh, that's a dire wolf. Oh my god. Oh god, I regret decisions. I regret decisions.
Yeah, Monster Mod was also on my game, and this would also lead to some complications in this playthrough. After running away from some more creatures, I make it to Sloan without incident. Once there, I steal some caps from the office building, then try to provoke the NPCs to serve as my distraction so I don't get mauled by deathclaws. Both attempts of trying this fail, but I was able to use the rocks to evade the deathclaws and get by unscathed. Finally make it to Freeside and get a suit from Ralph, then kill a violent hobo and Dixon for good measure. Afterwards, I decide to earn some caps by taking up a debt collection job with the Garretts. Needless to say, I made sure that all 3 debtors would never be late on a payment again. Also, while in the area, I see an opportunity to get a suit upgrade to better fit my style. On the way back, I decide to visit the Elvis impersonators, but they turn me away for my lack of hair gel. However, that does not stop me from getting into their clubhouse. The king then complains to me about how someone is hogging up all the protection money, so I go to dispatch them. Or I try to. Many times. But I do get him through unconventional means. I then report back to the king and the Garretts, telling them the job is done. On the way, I steal some guns from the Van Graffs, selling them back some of their own guns because I'm always willing to profit from someone else's stupidity. King then tells me to go talk to these 2 hobos who had their lunch money stolen. Turns out the NCR was running a charity, but they weren't an equal opportunity distributor. Kings are, of course, not happy with this, so they try to do something about it, but they fail miserably because they can't do anything besides hair well, and I'm left to deal with their mess. Oh, joyous me. So I will eventually get this, but this highlights some of the difficulties I will have in this playthrough. One, no armor sucks. I was basically humbled the entire fucking playthrough because the next, like, I could be level 50 and the fiend could fucking rock me. That was fun. Another thing, the weapons, close to medium range at most. Mainly the 44 Magnum is going to be that medium range, but yeah, not the best and stuff. So, like, if you're going to try and replicate this, bring a shit ton of medical supplies and lots of drugs. That's another thing I was doing when I was playing this, because the Omertas are basically a faction that heavily endorses the use of every single vice available. Drug use was totally on the table, and that did help me a lot throughout this playthrough. So, after that lengthy gunfight, I would try to recuperate my losses, then report back to the king and tell him that his men suck and a job well done. So, after this, I go to the strip, commit first degree murder in broad daylight and get away with it, then take my money and head over to get some new toys for what comes next. So, without further ado, cue the music!
To the head, a shallow grave that couldn't contain my rage, so I will rise again with a vengeful fire. And as the desert sun burns high and dry, my footprints trail in the sand, blood in my eyes, rage in my heart. Its time is close at hand. No place to hide now you're found. You can try and run from your fate. I've come for you, hear the sound of judgment at the end of my gun. New place to hide now you're found. You can try and run from your fate. I've come for you, hear the sound of judgment at the end of my gun. Prowl through empty ruins, factions war and people die, but I still walk this lonesome road. The end for you is coming close. Eyes watch me from the shadows, the wasteland stirs, thinking I'll be the one, but there is only one thing on my mind. No place to hide now you're found. You can try and run from your fate. I've come for you, hear the sound of judgment at the end of my gun. When you see me, you're shocked and in awe. You might try to barter, but you won't come close. There is one thing that brought me here, and you know what must be done. Only one of us can be left standing, so go ahead and draw. I used to enjoy the simple life, delivering mail for caps in hand. But now it seems all I deliver is smoking hot lead instead. My hands are red with all the blood I spill, but it will all be worth it so long as I kill him. No place to hide now you're found. You can try and run from your fate. I've come for you, hear the sound of judgment at the end of my gun. You draw your final breath, everything you built has long been shot dead. As you look into my eyes, see the monster you created. If the game is rigged, then I'll just break the game.
Whew, hot damn. That was more effort than I've put into killing Benny in quite a while. Um yeah, so after we kill Benny, we find Yes Man and we're like, "Sweet, we want to take over New Vegas." But before we do any of that, we need to get some money because I exhausted like all of my medical supplies and almost all my ammo in that fight. So yeah, we need some more bang bang food and boo boo kits. So luckily, or maybe not lucky, I don't know. I had some of some guy 2000s mods installed, so I had New Vegas Bounties along with a couple of his other mods. So I decided to go kill some people for some money because I seemed to be pretty good at it. So apparently, the wildlife from the monster mod beat me to the bounty. So yeah, that was a fairly easy job. Um, this probably be like the one of the only examples of this mod actually helping though, because foreshadowing it gets bad. So after getting a few more caps, I decide to try and start the Omerta quest line, but I find out that I don't have enough speech skill to actually do it. So I'm gonna have to go on a little bit of a tangent in order to level up my speech skill enough that I can actually start this quest line. So cue the bounty. So, first bounty, two old dudes start robbing caravans for shits and giggles. Problem is the one surviving old dude is hiding out in Deathclaw territory. So I have to go on another side quest for this side quest in order to get this man. On the way, I decide to pick up the mysterious Magnum and the Big Boomer, which are both welcomed additions to my arsenal. I also take some time to harass the locals.
You look like you're having a midlife crisis, and you're like, I want to be. Oh, I've been working in accounting for 20 years, but Marge, now I want to be a badass. So you go and buy some fucking metal armor and some fucking aviators and think you're all good. I do kind of want those glasses. I don't know, it's tempting. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm on a time schedule.
I finally get on the road to RepCon, which is going to have the stealth boy that I'm going to need to get past those death claws. However, once again, Monster Mod rears its ugly head and to get in my way and make things a whole lot more interesting.
Alright, come here. Come on. Wait for it. Boom!
I should also mention that I had also picked up the best perk known to man for shotguns, which is the and stand back perk, which is the thing that ragdolls the enemies when you see me shoot them with the sawed off shotgun. This perk would save my ass a whole bunch of times because, as you can see, the enemies are bullet sponges. So sometimes ragdolling them is the best thing you can really do to deal with them. After acquiring the Stealth Boy, I finally get past Deathclaw territory to kill this one old dude. Next bounty is on a vicious fiend, which I play hot potato with, and they promptly lose. A few more bounties are made short work of by my hand cannon and sawed off shotgun combo. I get another job from an old man to deliver a package. It's a simple job, so I decide to take it because when has that ever gone bad for me? I then go off to meet this man named Bradley, and then wait. I'm going off on a tangent. Okay, let me explain some things. This quest is from the Inheritance mod by some guy 2000 who makes absolutely awesome mods. However, this is the part of the playthrough that I kind of get derailed on, and I is reason why this entire playthrough took 13 hours. Um, yeah, trying to play through this mod on very hard took a lot of freaking time. Let me tell you. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this fast and stuff, as fast as possible. I'm probably not going to be able to get everything, but I'm sorry. I'm literally like looking at 13 hours of footage, and yeah, I've got to compress this down somehow. So this is getting gutted. All right, with that out of the way, where was I? Oh yeah, so Bradley's like, "Yo, I want to go on a treasure hunt with you, but first I need you to kill this fiend." So we kill the fiend. We go back to Bradley and tell him that the job is done, but Bradley wants to go visit the old man to see if he's off his meds. Turns out, the old man isn't off his meds, and the syndicate is actually after our ass. Syndicate, however, sounds an awful like competition to the Omerta, so we make quick work of him. Next, we go into a cave with a bunch of super mutants, where I put nearly all my 9mm into this one bullet sponge super mutant before getting a key card and moving on to the next bunker. Oh yeah, and do you remember when I told you that monster mod was going to be a problem? Well, the next bunker is entirely ghouls. And one thing that monster mod does really well, you could say, is adding how do you say this? Variety. Painful variety in the ghouls. Um yeah, and this bunker had so many ghouls. So, I have about like probably 2 hours of footage to this, and you know what? Just for you, y'all are getting another song and a death montage for this entire segment because, yeah, it's painful.
There's a tale of a treasure, a price that will deliver, it's just beyond measure. A simple delivery job has turned into a heist. Something wasn't quite right. Old maps guide our shaky hands to an ancient bunker, hold a key, but skeletons line the halls, and that is when I hear the screech from down below. Arrows flood the halls, I don't know if I have enough bullets for them all. Blood and scratches cover me head to toe, and I have no place left to run. This might be my last breath. Arrows flood the halls, I don't know if I have enough bullets for them all. Blood and scratches cover me head to toe, and I have no place left to run. This might be my last breath. Claws and teeth pierce the air, ghouls around us everywhere. 12-gauge shells litter the ground as my submachine gun runs dry. I hear screams from down the hall as my friend is swallowed by the horde. I shoot and I run, bullets don't seem to deter this foe. I shoot one and two more take its place. This place is my personal hell. Last spark floods into my veins, I feel my end is near. My 9mm trembles in my hand, they just keep coming. The hunter has become the hunted. They prowl looking for their next meal. My fate is looking sealed. I haven't seen daylight in several days. I am saving one last round for myself. Arrows flood the halls, I don't know if I have enough bullets for them all. Blood and scratches cover me head to toe, and I have no place left to run. This might be my last breath.
Dang, you're still here? Alright. So after we get done with this bunker, we go to the final bunker, which is in Fiend territory. There we get locked in a room, and the guy threatens to gas us if we don't kill each other. I tell Bradley that everybody hates him because of the movie The Pentagon Wars, and he proceeds to kill himself, so I don't have to waste any more ammo. However, despite this setback, I will not be beaten by a fucking intercom and some nerve gas, so I find this guy at the Thorn. He tells me to go see this guy at Gamora. He gets mouthy with me, so I insult him, which apparently gives him a stroke because he doesn't fight back as I proceed to stab him to death. He conveniently had a note on him which told me exactly where their gang hideout was, because that's good, because honestly, I didn't actually really ask him any questions on where his boss was. He just happened to have a note that told me. When I finally make it to the boss, he tries to challenge me to a katana fight, but I wasn't doing that. So I just used my speech skill to go tell him to go get a life and reevaluate his life choices. And then I made off with a shit ton of gold, so I'd never have to worry about money again. Speaking of max speech skill, I'm finally able to start the Gamora quest line. So there are two ways you can start the Omerta quest line. One, you could go to Jonah and pass a speech skill where you will do a secondary quest to help her and Carlitos escape from Gamora before you finally start the main Gamora quest line. Or you can follow the faction quest line with either the NCR, and I think there's another faction that you can do it with too. This run, we're going to be doing option A and helping Jonah escape, and then we're going to continue with the secondary quest after it. The secondary quest starts after we dispatch these thugs, and Carlitos tells us that we need to look into Kachino. I'll use my terrifying presence perk to intimidate one of the thugs to tell me where Kachino's at. There, I'll take his journal, and then I can hold him hostage and get him to help me overthrow the family, or I can turn him into the family. If I help him overthrow the family, then the family's going to be weaker as a result, and that's why I'm going to be turning him in so I can get in good with them and do more jobs for them. Once that business is done, Big Saul tells me that he needs a new problem solver to solve some problems for the family. First problem that Big Saul wants me to solve is helping Troy get back a weapon shipment that he lost to a band of fiends just outside the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters. I accidentally picked this up when I was playing through the game, so I was just able to give that straight back to him, so that was nice. Then I have to go talk to this weird dude, and he wants me to help him build a chlorine bomb, so we can just source chlorine straight from Mick and Rouse because apparently they just have that stuff on hand. Fun. And yeah, after we do that, we're done with the Omerta quest line. After the only thing left to do is if we went to Mick and Rouse and we talked to Mick about weapon shipments, we could convince Big Sal after we do the quest line to continue buying weapons from Mick and Rouse and get the Pit Boy 3 billion. With the Omerta questline now done, now it's our time to take our matters into our own hands and truly shape Vegas into an Omerta paradise. This starts by eliminating all of our competition, of course. The White Gloves are first on the hit list just because they're just a skip and a hop away from Gamora, and I massacre them all with little to no effort. Like seriously, bringing a walking cane to a gunfight is never a good idea, but these fancy fuckers think that they're special, so they get to taste my 10 millimeter. Then after that, we go talk to Yes Man, and then we go kill Mr. House. And Mr. House is a real pain in the ass to kill, especially if you upgrade his Securitrons. So, pro tip: don't give him the platinum chip before you decide to kill him because those freaking Mark II Securitrons will fuck your day up. With Mr. House out of the picture, we get Yes Man installed, and he tells us that we don't have to go talk to the Roman crossdresser so we can get access to our massive Sciritron army. Caesar tries to give me a Wikipedia philosophy lesson before sending me down to the bunker where I can now activate my Securitron army, but he doesn't really know that. And another thing, just mild observation: why is every Legion character a philosophy major? Asking for a friend. Anyways, despite the philosophy lessons, we're going to try and help the Legion a little more and stuff because a strong Legion means a weaker NCR and it means a better chance for our success when we push them both out of Vegas. Caesar then sends us off to Nellis to make friends with the Boomers. I'm going to take the quick route of completing the quest Ants Misbehaving and stealing a whole bunch of missiles from the Boomers to then later give to Raquel so I can get to that idolized status so I can complete the quest where we get the B-29 bomber out of Lake Mead. After we get idolized, of course, we do the B-29 quest, where we basically just go to the bottom of Lake Mead, attach some balloons to the bottom of a plane, stand back and watch it float up, and then somehow they magically get it all back to Nellis. I don't see how, like, I know they said, oh, the robots disassembled it, but, like, that's impressive, man. Whatever. Anyways, we go back to Caesar, and he's like, yo, why'd you kill the White Gloves? And we're just like, I don't know, felt like it. So he tells us our next target is the Brotherhood of Steel. which this is going to be interesting. So I'm just going to level with y'all. There was no way with this build that I was going to take on the Brotherhood of Steel in a one-on-one fight. Not at this difficulty and not with this build. Yeah. Like, and honestly, I also had a mod that also buffed the Brotherhood of Steel, so some of the stuff that you see in here probably isn't vanilla. Yeah. So what I had to do instead is I luckily had a stealth boy, which I popped at the first sign of confrontation, and I was able to activate the self-destruct sequence and ultimately destroying their little bunker they got. But yeah, um, definitely recommend that if you don't have the build to take on the Brotherhood, just use a stealth boy. It's not too hard. You just have to get the keys from the elder, head paladin, and the head scribe, and they're all on the second level. And like the elder and the paladin are basically right next to each other, kind of in that little like elder room and stuff. He sometimes hides off into the freaking side hall or whatever where the barracks are, kind of. And there's also the scribe, which he's in like the computer lab at the very far end. But yeah, definitely recommend use a stealth boy if you're playing like me. Next on the to list was the Great Khans, but on the way, the NCR tries to send a hit squad, which doesn't end well for them because of the monster mod. So that's awesome. To be honest, my plan for the Great Khans was just to decapitate their leadership and have them basically fade away into the background. I didn't have the firepower and munitions to wipe them out properly, so I just tried killing their leaders. But I wasn't able to get them all, I don't think. So I just told Yes, had to tell Yes Man to just ignore him and we'll deal with them later when we have a Securitron army. But they'll have to wait because Caesar has a brain tumor, and if Caesar goes, then Legate Lenius gets control of the Legion, and we can't have that because honestly, a Legate Lenius Legion is a weaker Legion in the long run, and we want something to counter the NCR for a good while we hold our power on the strip. And to add gas to the fire, after we save him, Caesar sends us on a mission to kill President Kimball, which, to be honest with you, we kind of do it like a Fallout drive by shooting. It wasn't really that well coordinated. But hey, man, we have a 10 millimeter submachine gun and stim packs. What are you going to do? I report back to Caesar, who's overwhelmed with joy and wanting to get the battle for Hoover Dam kickstarted, but I need to straighten some things out with Yes Man first. Yes Man tells me I need to go bully the two-headed bear people some more, so I head over to El Dorado substation and I kill some NCR deserters, take their armor, and infiltrate the substation without them knowing the wiser. This is so we can get the show started when the battle for Hoover Dam starts and we have our Securitron army on standby. And with that, everything is in place and it's time for the Battle of Hoover Dam to finally start. So, to give a rundown of the battle, we start on the road leading to the dam, and we have to cut our way through both Legionnaires and NCR and Great Khans for some reason to get to the control room for the dam to upload Yes Man. In this part of the dam, it's largely medium to long ranges, and my 44 Magnum paired with a whole crap ton of drugs that essentially give me a lot of critical hit chance and damage boosters, along with I think one drug that I had like +5 um luck to it. So I was basically running around with a high luck crit build with this 44 Magnum, and that's what really allowed me to cut through a lot of these higher end enemies on very hard with just my mysterious Magnum. Now, when I get down below, I do run into two heavy troopers, which do not really seem to phase my 44 Magnum on fucking steroids, as it just cuts through both of them with little to no problems. On the surface, I have to deal with more of those dang Centurions, which are a pain in the ass, to deal with because they have high end weapons. One of like I remember a couple of those guys had anti-material rifles got lucky a couple of times and managed to one shot me from freaking 100 yards off. So that was fun. But after I get done with all of this, and I get to the part where my Securitrons are like just mopping up the Legion forces, I barely have to fight. And that leads us to the fight with the Legates, which oh my gosh. You know the when you install mods and you have so many installed that you forget like that you have some mods installed and until it comes to bite you in the ass when you run into a fight and you realize there's like 19 more guys in a fight that's than they're supposed to be. Yeah, yeah, that was the Leggett fight. But it's you can see that for yourself. Well, that just happened. Yeah, so after Leggett Lemieux tried his little aerial attack on me, I had to mop up the shitload of legionnaires that was spawned by that mod. Mind you, also that was not like the first attempt of me doing that. Yeah, there was like I think 5 or 6 more attempts in footage. I had like an hour worth of fucking footage I went through for this segment. So yeah. Um this was not easy. Oh yeah. So after that, freaking General Oliver comes up and is like, "Yo, thanks for winning us the dam," and we're like, "Haha, JK, look behind you." You know, I don't know why I didn't use that fucking massive army of Securitrons I had just chilling right there to one of those Legionnaires. That would have made sense, but I guess this is what happens when you put 3 into your intelligence status. Yeah, that would have been really fucking handy in hindsight now that I think about it. But yeah, so we throw freaking General Oliver off the dam and we win the game. And yeah, so you can beat Fallout New Vegas as an Omerta. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, thank you for sticking around for this goofy ass content. Leave a comment below on what you might want to see next. Any ideas or like critiques on the video. Do you like the freaking songs? I don't know. I thought they were kind of funny and stuff, and they're also a great way to kind of kill time because I feel like it would be yakking this entire video, especially if I was just narrating me dying over and over again on one particular scene, would be kind of boring. But that's also I kind of want to put those scenes in there because that's highlights that this is an actual challenge. Unlike a lot of like YouTubers who like run these like videos on like normal or sometimes even like I've seen them do it on very easy. I actually want to make this a little bit of a challenge and like prove, hey, you can do it, even if you have a shit ton of mods install that want to backstab you at like every turn, it seems, in the playthrough. But yeah, leave a comment below. Tell me on what your thoughts are. And yeah, have a nice day. Peace.